In 2019, Father Michel Rodrigue received messages about the network of physical shelters that God the Father has implemented for the most difficult moment of the tribulation. Refuges that will be active when the henchmen of the evil one furiously persecute those who remain loyal to Jesus Christ. This caused stupefaction and hope, and in some disbelief. But it is only now known that a year later, another priest, thousands of kilometres from there, and without having contact with Father Rodrigue, received a similar revelation, which even adds other important data for the present moment. Here we will talk about the message that the Brazilian priest, Father Oliveira, received, compared to the one that Father Rodrigue received, and about the other additional revelations he had that shed light on how the tribulation within the Church is already being processed in our time. In the year 2019, Father Michel Rodrigue, a French-speaking Canadian, founder and superior of the Fraternity of Saint Benedict José Libre, received messages from God the Father about the physical shelters that God has planned for the most dangerous moment of the tribulation. And a year later, Father Oliveira, a low-profile Brazilian priest and parish priest in Rio Grande do Sul in southern Brazil, who for years has received mystical visions and prophetic revelations from God, had a similar message. Let's start with the main information that Father Michel Rodrigue received. God the Father told him that the refuge during the coming tribulation will be the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and that the Lord has prepared different physical shelters throughout the world to welcome the faithful, as in the days of Noah. After the warning, within the same year, the miracle that was prophesied in Garabandal will come, and a miraculous sign will remain in the place of the true apparitions. And after this will come the fury of the tribulation. God the Father showed him the shelters for that moment. He told him, "Look now and see the net of the Holy Spirit." And he showed him all the shelters in the world, a map with lights that revealed where all the shelters were. All shelters will be connected to each other, and in them the faithful will spend the 3.5 years of the tribulation. Some are already in them because their home is already a refuge, and others will be rehoused in them. People from each shelter will be chosen as messengers and will communicate with other shelters. Each chosen one will see a small flame in front of him. If they're called to go to a refuge, already from the time we're going through and up to the most difficult moment of the tribulation. The guardian angel will show you this flame and will guide you towards a refuge from the Father. If you must move to another place, he will guide you on the path that leads you there. The Father will decide if the shelter will be permanent or temporary. He told him that a permanent shelter will have a well, and that will be the sign that it is a permanent shelter. When the angel shows you the flame that you must follow to the refuge where he wants you to be, you will be strengthened in the Holy Spirit and your emotions will be neutralized. Your heart will be in agreement with the Holy Spirit, who is the love of Christ and of the Father. He will lead you, and you should not be afraid. When people enter a shelter, many will be cured of major illnesses so as not to be a burden to others, yet they will still suffer the normal pains of humans on earth. God showed him that when that time comes, the people in the shelters won't miss anything. They will not miss the Eucharist because he will have prepared the priests to go from one place to another. There will also be a priest serving each refuge, and when the priest is not there, the angel will carry the Holy Host for people to receive communion. People will not be sad for not going out, but happy for what they will see happening outside. We will only be concerned with doing the will of the Father, and our hearts will not be troubled by sadness and weariness. In each refuge there will be an angel of the Lord who will prevent entry to those who do not have the sign of the cross on their forehead. And from the shelter you will see the hunters who are under the control of Satan go outside the shelter. Sometimes they will look like an army, other times like a person working for the New World Order. They will see each other go by, but they will not see the shelter. They will not be able to hear, see, or enter the shelter. The people from the shelter will not carry a mobile phone and will leave the car far from the shelter. They will not use the internet and will throw away the computer, the television, and any type of electronic device because the devil has already worked on these products before. He has implemented within them the means to find you wherever you are. On May 12, 2020, Father Oliveira had an interior locution during a retreat for priests. He was told that the warning was drawing near, that testing days are on the horizon like a gathering storm. It is already possible to see heavy clouds and storm lights on the horizon. The sound of thunder can already be heard. The sign of the Lord will be great, and the world will be amazed at his power. Here he is talking about the prophesied miracle in Garabandal. Shortly after he gives the signal, science, at the service of the powerful, will convince many that it is a natural phenomenon, or something that does not need divine intervention to happen. The children of light, however, will know that it is a signal for them to walk towards the shelters. A cross on the forehead of the children of light will be the mark. The forehead of a child of light will have that luminous cross that only a few will be able to see. But evil is so cunning and malicious that many, in many parts of the world, will receive the other mark, that of the beast, without knowing it. Others will flee to avoid receiving the mark, and others will receive the mark to help the children of light. Because in the future, whoever does not have this mark will not be able to buy or sell. Then some spiritual martyrs will offer their bodies to help the children of light. They will suffer a lot. They will get sick and confused. The Lord, however, will send his angels to help these poor suffering. People will see a flame before their eyes. You must follow this flame, because it is the Holy Spirit who will be showing you a refuge. Follow that flame. The person who has the flame above his head and not in front is because he is already in a shelter. In the refuges, you will see again the wonders that the apostles once experienced. And you will be protected by angels of great power, and communication will once again be spiritual. The Lord will not forsake the children of light. The angels will bring Holy Communion to those who will take refuge in these shelters. Priests totally delivered to their Lord will be bilocated or mysteriously transported to different places to care for the children of light. Some priests will die of exhaustion, but that will be a great honour for them. Just before the judgment, the Lord will warn many priests and consecrated people. Already, many souls around the world are being warned of these things. There will be a veritable crowd, an army formed and directed by Our Lady. She will personally warn many around the world just before all those events happen. Our Lady will be a great general, and, together with her children, she will march to the final battle. Before this battle, however, the world will see the battle for the seat of Pieta, that is, for the papacy. The devil knows that hell will never defeat the church, which is why he wants Peter's throne so badly. The war for the Petrine chair has already begun. This war is the prelude to the Queen's battle.